In the headlines, a December deadline for completion of a restoration project on the EC Low Black Bridge, a challenging first 6 months on the job for the DAT's new president, and contracts to be signed soon to facilitate components of the Roseau Enhancement Project. I am Andrea Louis with the Channel 5 News, back with the details after this.
Dominica's World Creole Music Festival in 2018, October 26, 27, 28 at the Windsor Park Stadium in the capital city, Roseau. 3 nights, over 8 genres, 40 years of independence, 1 location, Dominica, the 20th edition of Dominica's World Creole Music Festival. For more information, like our Facebook page, Dominica Festivals. Visit our website, www.dominicafestivals.com for all travel, accommodation, and ticketing details. My love, my home, my Dominica. Building a resilient nation. See you there! Proudly sponsored by the Government of Dominica and Discover Dominica Authority.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, galvanized and fenced pipe. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Thank you for staying with us. First up, a $6.5 million bridge rehabilitation project is earmarked to be completed by 15th December. The EC Low Black Bridge was severely affected by Hurricane Maria, with one portion of the bridge collapsing due to the effect. Work on the bridge started earlier this year, and Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, along with cabinet members, made a site visit of the project on Tuesday.
This project is at a cost of 6.5 million EC dollars, and we expect it to be completed within time on December 15. So everything will be in place on December 15. We're hoping that the contractor, as indicated, could cause there to be some pedestrian access sooner, but certainly in terms of motorable access to the bridge, we can expect, God willing, for there to be access on the 15th of December. So it's a major undertaking there, and the project is on schedule. So I really want to commend the Ministry of Public Works for their oversight and for getting this done rather quickly, and also to the contractors for the usual diligence and their professionalism and high quality of work.
The Prime Minister says the next urgent matter of business is that of retaining walls along the Roseau River.
In the next few weeks, we'll also look at the retaining walls. We have the retaining wall from the East Low Black Bridge going towards the Windsor Park Bridge, connecting the Bath Road onto Rose Street. And also we'll be looking at from the bus stop, the West Bridge bus stop, where the Portsmouth buses usually assemble, to go all the way past the KFC and the market, so as to address 2 weak areas or 2 vulnerable areas on the Roseau River currently. So we're hoping that we can move very quickly. We have designs for this and we have costings for this. So I've been advised by the Minister that he should be in a position to advise on the start of work urgently, because if we do not address this, with all of the work that we've done on the river bank, we run the risk of having the city flooded.
NSG Management and Technical Services Limited is contracted to undertake this project. Project manager on site, Rich Harrington, says the finished product will mirror that of the West Bridge, which was completed and opened to the public in May 2017.
At this point, we are replacing the third, as you can see, and we are digging out the lowest structure, which is the toe wall, which supports the entire thing. And we've gone extra low on this one because what happened before will never happen again. So we are forming that, and then weeks to follow, we will pour the entire abutment. So within a week or two, you'll see an enormous concrete structure here. And then the weeks to follow that, you will see the steel girders, and then the deck, and then the railings and lights by December. Well, once it's complete, you'll have steel girders, much like the West Bridge. It'll be the same setup, same design, that will launch across onto the concrete, and then a concrete deck on top of that, completely matching the deck here with the railings just like the West Bridge and the lighting just like the West Bridge. So what we want is kind of a mirror effect with the lighting on the walls, and eventually maybe the other bridges as well, so that the entire riverfront is lit up and illuminated, and it's a place you'd want to come at night.
A total of 28 people are currently working on the EC Low Black Bridge project. In other top stories, special focus to be placed on communities in the east of the country as government commits World Bank funds towards infrastructural developments in these areas.
Some of these communities include the Kalinago Territory, Castlebruce and Petit Soufriere. The World Bank has approved an additional $31 million for Dominica. This money is part of $115 million approved for post-Maria assistance to Dominica. $50 million of the overall amount pledged by the World Bank will be grant funds, money which Dominica does not have to pay back. Government plans on adding to that amount in order to undertake a more comprehensive intervention in the east. These funds will be allocated to targeted localities where they can do the most good instead of spreading the funds across wider areas and accomplishing less. The Prime Minister has made reference to interventions already taking place between the Emerald Pool and Castlebruce and the Good Hope area. Some of these interventions include new bridges, culverts and new road surfaces. Part of the benefit of these efforts will be the enhancement of road safety and property value in these areas.
In educational matters, the recently elected president of the Dominica Association of Teachers is describing his first 6 months in office as challenging. Melvin Alexander was elected to the post of president during the DAT's 14th biennial conference in April. He replaced Celia Nicholas, who headed the union for the past 18 years. Channel 5 News met up with Alexander to hear from him on his first 6 months at the helm of the umbrella body for teachers on island.
It has been pretty challenging, I must say, but I'm hanging in there. Trying to get teachers to sort of give more support to the association than they've been giving, because they have their misgivings about the associations, whatever, and so on. So I'm trying my best to see how much, do my visit to schools to see how much I could get them to change the whole perception of the union, to get them to realize that they form the union, not the executive, not the national executive, and also, especially our young teachers, to come on board as well.
Alexander says one of the biggest issues facing the DAT is the non-appointment of qualified teachers and principals, especially after several years in the post. He disclosed that the DAT is currently on a data collection drive to better advocate for teachers on island, as the non-appointment of teachers can be discouraging to those in the profession.
Because how do you motivate a person to do work if you're not them? They have gone ahead and improved themselves. They've got themselves trained, and yet you still have them at a position where as an untrained person. So it's not very good for the service. So DAT, what we're doing right now is, in fact, we're trying to get as much information as possible. For instance, what we want to do is get to each school and get the names of all the teachers who are trained and not appointed, so we can make a case for that, because something has to happen.
On to developments in health, the Chinese government has agreed to take into account government's climate resilient policy as construction on the new hospital advances.
A Chinese delegation recently wrapped up a 12-day visit here in an effort to advance the hospital project post-Hurricane Maria. The new hospital was originally designed to have a wooden roof, but the Prime Minister says the first buildings, which were already advanced, will carry wooden roofs. But he says the Chinese government has agreed to conform to government's policy to build in a resilient manner. The Chinese government has agreed to install concrete roofs on all 9 of the remaining buildings. Windows and doors will be able to withstand heavy winds. The Prime Minister says upon completion of the new hospital, medical staff and patients will no longer have to worry about roofs being blown away or exposure to the elements. Beside the new hospital, the Chinese are also planning on building 5 new secondary schools, including the Goodwill Secondary School.
You are watching the Channel 5 News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
M&J Covering is the producer of designed galvanized and galvalume in Dominica. They design to your specifications, color and length, 4 styles of galvanized and galvalume pre-painted roofing sheets as requested, and supply all your galvalume accessories. M&J Covering helps you control spending and reduce waste. At M&J Covering, they are also equipped to build your roof to precise standards anywhere on island. So come to M&J Covering at 1 Mile in Portsmouth or call 445-5001-275-5003 today.
Welcome back. Major contracts for the enhancement of Roseau are expected to be rolled out soon. That's according to Minister for Public Works, Dr. Colin McIntyre, who spoke to the media during a site visit to the EC Low Black Bridge on Tuesday.
You'll be aware and you'll be seeing very soon some major contracts being rolled out as well to complete the south edge of the Roseau River. Roseau is very, very fortunate to have a clean river flowing through it, and we see something major, and that should take us and radiate into the Roseau Enhancement Project, which is another major one, a major significant project. Of course, together with somewhat referred to as horizontal development, like going up with some modern buildings on the riverside area, and hopefully looking at possibilities down by the KFC area there as well to look at a modern type of face to Roseau, looking at it coming from the north into Roseau.
The Public Works Minister says his ministry is working feverishly to execute and complete several major projects around the island.
Looking at trying to give Dominica at least a better facelift, if you want to call it that, having been insulted by Hurricane Maria. So you'll see a number of major projects taking place on island. For example, major road patching taking place, lighting up of the city and the environs. Of course, we know what we suffered from Maria. It takes a little time to recover from that, but we had no choice but to put our belts on and really move fast with that. You will see the Castle Comfort Road going, Castle Comfort Eggleston moving quite rapidly right now, providing some ease for our people, as well as brush cutting throughout the island. The major project in Calibishi just about to unfold too. We had some major events there with the sea last weekend, and we want to address that as well too. Very soon from now, we'll see some major events taking place in Tatan as well too. Of course, we had major developments there in terms of the Kepinski Hotel, the Moroccan Funded Hotel, and the Anichi. So this road is very important in terms of getting folks to that.
Several key projects are also on the cards for major roadways in Dominica.
We're also looking at the Iolibla highway as well too. What needs to be done there in terms of really looking at a modern highway that can really take charge and stand the weight of this heavy equipment traversing there as this government tries to develop this country. Not tries, is developing this country to a different level. In the east, of course, as much as we have had some difficulties there, we are moving along with that road too, beefing up our public works to help us in that, and there are tremendous opportunities in Dominica right now. And as I speak, we are working towards the south of the country, the rest of the Bailey Bridges in Grand Bay, in Fonseca, and trying to do some work in terms of the edge failures. There's another major project about to be unfold there as well too, in terms of the consultancy for the Lubia to Bagatelle Road, as well as our new water system. And when we look at developments in Jungle Bay and some issues with the road there, we're looking at even the Roseau to Scott Said Road. Of course, we have some issues on the broken part of the road there, which we'll be addressing very soon. And of course, looking at the best option for the Scott Said area as well too.
In matters of tourism, the Prime Minister has restated his commitment to increasing cruise passenger arrivals to 600,000 in the midterm and eventually 1 million in the long term. Prime Minister Skerrit says there are certain measures which must be taken to facilitate the achievement of those goals. He says part of the process involves discussions with the cruise industry and local stakeholders, as well as taking certain legislative measures. In the 2018-2019 national budget, the Prime Minister promised that tourism would play a major role in building economic resilience and maintaining resilient livelihoods in enhancing the ability of our economy to rebound after a disaster. He also spoke of reviewing the tourism policy and the tourism master plan to support a climate-resilient vision for Dominica. And the Tropical Depression 15, which formed on Tuesday morning off the coast of Africa, has become Tropical Storm Nadine with maximum sustained winds of nearly 40 miles per hour.
The good news is Nadine is forecast to weaken to a tropical depression on Friday. Weather experts are forecasting that Nadine will begin to weaken by Thursday. At 11 a.m. Tuesday morning, Tropical Storm Nadine was located near latitude 10.5 north, longitude 30.0 west. Nadine was moving toward the west-northwest at 9 miles per hour, and this motion was expected to continue through tonight. A motion toward the northwest at a similar forward speed was forecast for Wednesday through Friday. Maximum sustained winds have increased to nearly 40 miles per hour with higher gusts. Additional strengthening is forecast through Wednesday.
To end the news, the headlines again. A December deadline for completion of a $6 million restoration effort on the EC Low Black Bridge. A challenging first 6 months on the job for the DAT's new president. And contracts to be signed soon to facilitate components of the Roseau Enhancement Project. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Andrea Lee, and to all of our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Join us next time.